Welcome to Monday's Miracle Moment. And now I'll bring up the card for this week. Here it is. I'm going to share it on screen. And the card says, consciousness, the level of perception, was the first split introduced into the mind after the separation, making the mind a perceiver rather than a creator. Consciousness is correctly identified as the domain of the ego. So one more time, consciousness, the level of perception, was the first split introduced into the mind after the separation, making the mind a perceiver rather than a creator. Consciousness is correctly identified as the domain of the ego. All right. Well, this is quite a difficult one because it takes us right into the whole how did things come to be question. And so the way the Course in Miracles puts it, we were all as one. We were all eternal. We were all with God. We were all 100% created perfect. And we were created in the image of God, which is God was a creator, all loving, all knowing, and so were we. And so the Course says we had a little wild, mad little thought that wondered, what would it be if we were not this? And so we introduced doubt into the system, and we introduced a thought other than all that is. We introduced what if there wasn't all that is? And so that was the split, the separation, the move away from God and all that is to something separated from God. And in that separation, the first level of consciousness was created. The ego was created through separateness, and out of the ego, there came consciousness. And consciousness is our ability to perceive ourselves as separated. And so consciousness is the energy. It is who we truly are. We are a consciousness or an energy connected to the one, the whole spirit, which is why we can connect inside of ourselves and have experiences, get guided, because we are connected to the one. So consciousness, the level of perception, was the first split introduced into the mind after the separation. So consciousness is belonging to the ego. The ego is the part that's separated off. And so we now see ourselves as separated beings. We come into bodies. There's a lot more steps before we actually come into bodies. But we believe now that we are separate beings in separated bodies, and we aren't back to self-identifying as this spirit that is totally connected to God. Now, the interesting thing about A Course in Miracles is it says that God doesn't really know any of this. It created the Holy Spirit to mend our mistake, our mistaken thought that we could ever leave God. We can't really leave God. This belief in separation is a nightmare of our own creation. We are actually always still one and at home with God. But that's what we're here to discover. We're here to discover and to uncover and undo the programming that went into our subconscious level when we were children that said we were bodies, we were different, and didn't really teach us how to access that inner part of ourselves, that part that is whole, that is eternal, and is perfect. And so what I want you to know is you are a creator. You came from the creator. You are a creator. And we can use this consciousness not to fall asleep, but to wake up to who you truly are so you can live a happier life. We can live here like it's heaven on earth, or we can live here like it's a nightmare. And it depends on where are you coming from in your thinking, because we perceive it as out there, but really The real truth is it's in here. It's in what we're thinking about. The world is a reflection of our consciousness. And so more and more of us are moving to understand this and become the creators we truly are and empower ourselves. We don't have to believe all the fear thoughts that are rampant in our world. We can train our minds to have loving thoughts, to move away from the fear and choose again. So that was a bit of a long one, but I hope you got something out of it. Please leave me a comment below if you have a question or if there's something that I can help you understand a bit better. I do go through a lot of that in my book. I think in actually the, let me see, right in the last chapter, which is on work and money. On work and money, how funny is that? But anyways, you can get my book at DianeLundMiracles.com or on Amazon. And that's it for this week. Have a beautiful one. Bye for now.